What's up, everyone? Uh, Thanks for joining me. I know it's been a long time since I've done any kind of video on here, but hey, we're back and we're gonna jump right into this one. So I've been using Easel CNC software for about 5 or 6 years now, uh, and personally, I absolutely love it. It's simple, it's easy, and despite what a lot of people say, it's actually a pretty powerful tool. Um, if you know work the program to your needs. Uh, Now the reason I'm doing this video is I'm actually going to be doing a series of videos because uh, Easel kind of has a little bit of a a bad rap within the guitar building community. It's not powerful enough, not strong enough. A lot of those things that I said before, which I disagree with. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do a whole series on uh, Easel CNC software for guitar builders. Uh, and this one is going to be the first video that I do, and I'm going to basically break down Easel as just a CNC software program. So I'm not going to really do anything uh, guitar related in this video just yet. However, in the following videos, I'm going to really do a deep dive in using Easel to build guitars. So this first one is going to be Easel for absolute beginners. We're going to go through the program itself and kind of learn all of its functions and all of its capabilities. Probably not even all of it because, I mean, like I said, there's a ton. So let's just go ahead and jump right into Easel and we'll check it out. We're just going to do a tour of what Easel is. So your main screen here. This is Easel when you type in easel.com. Easel is a web-based CNC software, meaning that you have to go onto the internet and type in easel.com, and hey, you're at at where you're going to be doing your designing, and depending on your CNC machine, also your machining as well. So I'm gonna jump over here. The first thing that when you get here, you're gonna have to do is obviously log in. It's gonna pop up a thing. I've already logged in with my email. Um, oh, get out of there. And I'm gonna start a new project, just so that we can start from scratch, start new, be all good to go. So when you open up your project, it's going to give you a kind of a generic 12 by 8 by half inch thick material, um, which is totally fine to work with. That's what we're gonna start with. But the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go through kind of all of its functions and uh, everything from there. I've got some notes over here, so if you see me looking off the screen, I'm looking at my notes. So, uh, first things first, over here on the left side of your screen is your toolbar. Toolbar functions are very pretty standard. So you've got your shapes, circles, squares, triangles, stars. Those are the four shapes that you can choose from. Well, I want a different shape. Well, we'll get into it. Just wait. But so your basic shapes. You've got a line tool. Line tool is pretty self-explanatory. It's gonna start you off with a line, and you can draw lines. If you noticed just now when it turns red like that, it means it's perfectly parallel with the other endpoint that it's connecting to, which um, we will get into in a minute. It's got a drill function, uh, which means it's just going to drill a hole right at wherever you put it. Uh, you've got fonts, a ton of fonts, actually, a whole bunch of fonts. And add fonts, there's a ton of fonts in here. There is literally a bunch that you can choose from. So with most Easel projects, most Easel videos are kind of more geared towards the sign maker. These fonts are going to be kind of your bread and butter, where you go to type in whatever you're typing on your sign. After that, you got your Pro Design Library, which your Pro Design Library is going to give you a ton of different graphics, a bunch of graphics, everything from basic graphics to Valentine's Day graphics, animals, decoration. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff. Um, a bunch. Fashion, food, music. Now, in here, you can kind of see it says it's got a couple up top, and then it's got more music icons with the Easel Pro subscription, Pro designs below that, which I will kind of delve into a little bit more with the Pro versus Basic in a little bit. So don't worry, we'll explain that. We've got a measuring tool. Measuring tool is basically I want to measure from this line to this line. Oh, it's 7 inches. It's whatever. Okay, so and then we've got apps. The apps are kind of cool. It's a great feature. So you've got your inlay generator, your legacy cabinets. It's got a bunch of stuff. Box Maker Classic, Puzzle Designer, texture generator, fidget spinners, maze generator, sine waves. I mean, there's a ton of crap in here. Image trace. There's a ton of stuff in here, which we can, again, in the future videos, we are going to kind of deep dive into this. There's a bunch of very, very useful stuff in here. Next one, import. Import is very important because it's got your SVGs, your G codes, your 3D STLs, which, yes, Easel can import 3D files. I know a lot of people, say that, Easel's not that great because you can't do 3D carvings. You can't really design in 3D, but you can carve in 3D using Easel and your DXF imports. My personal favorite. And then from there, there's another button that is just a import 3D model, which is your STLs. So that is your toolbar. It's very simple, very quick, very easy. Moving across the bottom of your screen here, you can change it from inches to millimeters. You've got your zoom in, your zoom out, and your home button. Your home button brings it back to where it's right in the center of your screen, as big as it can possibly be. Over here, you've got a detailed view, simulate view, and your show and hide your product preview, your wasteboard, your material. You can hide the material, you can hide the wasteboard in your preview, you can hide the uncut areas, which again, we'll see all that a little later. You've got your cut settings, your automatic inventables recommended feed rates, plunge rates, depth per pass per your bits. And then also, you can change those by clicking on manual. You can go in and manually change these. One thing about it too, you can also change your fill method or your the way that your machine cuts from either offset to a raster cut on your X or your Y axis. You also have your plunge. You can go in at a 5-degree angle or a 20-degree angle. Again, those two, the raster and the plunge, are both Easel Pro features. Right now, I'm working on an Easel Basic, Easel Free, whatever you want to call it. So up here we have our workpiece. This is going to be, like I said, when it first loads, it's going to give you a piece that's 12 inches by 8 inches by 0.5 inch thick. If you would like to go in and change that, let's say your piece is um, 18 wide by 15 wide by 1.75. Kind of rough uh, a rough size of a guitar body blank. Okay, so this would be then obviously this changes to that size. Um, well, I'm not working with birch plywood. There's a ton of different materials from babinga to cherry plywood to hard maple. I mean, there's just a bunch. Pine, and when you change it, it changes. Um, if you want to keep it in line with the grain, you can change that. So you kind of see a little bit better of what you're dealing with. So there you go. That looks like a pine body blank right there to me. All right. Again, I'm not really going to go super deep into guitar building, but I'm just going off of what I normally use. So that is changing your preview design. Your bit obviously is going to be what end mill you're using to carve your um, whatever you're carving. It has some preloaded bits, a 1/32, a 1/16, a 1/8 single flute, and a 1/8 double flute end mill. And then it's got other, and these are for all your end mills. In the other, you can come in here when you click on it, and if you're using a 1/4 inch, you type in your 0.25 inch and you hit start, and it's going to change up here your bit size. It's got V bits, 60 degree uh, with a 1/4 inch shank and a 90 degree with a 1/4 inch shank. But again, if you have your own, you can change that. Like for instance, I have a 30 degree inch, and my width on it is 0.125 rather than the 0.5, and I can click that, and as you can see, it changed it up here. However, if you did see another change is in that corner there is it changes it to Easel Pro, because V-bits, as you see right here, are a pro feature, which we'll get into. Just hold on. Just hold on. We'll get there. I know I'm moving fast, but you guys can always hit pause. I can't. Or can I? Just kidding. All right. So let's go ahead and change this back. We're going to go back to the 0.25 bit. Actually, yeah, we're going to leave it at the 0.25, the 1/4 inch bit for now. You can add uh, a second pass or an additional bit, a detail bit. So let's go ahead and add in. Let's add in a 1/8 inch single flute end mill. All right, so now you can see I've got my roughing bit or my regular bit and my detail bit. This is going to be a second pass with that. But not going to use that for now, so we're going to go ahead and close out of it. We're going to jump up here to our project. Our project tab is going to give us a new project. Open projects, properties, make a cut, all this good stuff. Importing an SVG, importing G-code, all that good stuff that we don't really need right now. Edit's going to have a whole lot more as we start building whatever we're building. Your machine, it does say my Easel Pro has expired, but that's fine. So this is my machine profile right now. It's set up to my Xcarve. You can edit your machine. If you don't have a machine installed already on this, that's totally fine. It's not a big deal. You can come in here and change your work area. For instance, if you have like a long mill, your long mill is not going to be 29.5 inches. It's going to be like 30, I think it's 35 inches by 35 inches, unless you have a long mill 48 830, and then it's going to be like 50 by 35 or whatever it is, and you can change all those. Okay. Spindles controlled by manual. Yes. Your spindle, I'm using a DeWalt 611, but there's a bunch of different other ones that you can change it to. You can change it to a 24 volt DC spindle, the Makita, whatever. Your accessories, your Z probes, your coolant, your dust shoe, all that stuff. You can change all that. You can add it in, set it up to however you need it to set up. All right. Your toolbox. Your toolbox is going to be bits, materials, all that stuff. You can add tools. You can add bits up here. You can add materials. You can add cut settings. You can save cut settings. You can save different machine profiles. For example, if you have an X-carve and a long mill, or you have a long mill and a 1-finity, or you have whatever, you can save these if you have the Easel Pro. Whole bunch of stuff that you don't really ever get into, ever really need. In your help, thousands of project ideas. There's a video gallery. There's learning. There's community forums. There's a ton of stuff about Easel. All that good stuff. It's all there. But we've kind of gone through. Oh, there is one thing. Work pieces that we didn't get to. So, as you can see, we changed our shape. This little zoom we were talking about, we can zoom out. And then I want it to come back over here. Just hit home, and it's going to give you that detailed view right there. Okay, so work pieces. Down here, work pieces for untitled, and then you got two little arrows at the bottom. If you click that, it's going to bring up this little page right here. If you click this second one, it's going to give you a duplicate of your work piece, which is kind of handy at times if you're doing multiple carves, doing multiple I don't know what the word is, multiple processes and multiple machinings on one single piece. This workpiece is very helpful. Okay, I don't need the second workpiece because we're just going to work on that. So, first thing, so we're going to do just a quick, simple project so I can show you some other little tips and hints on the features within Easel, like edit. So let's go ahead and we're just going to do something really simple. We're going to make like, we'll keep it at 15. We'll take this down to 9, and we'll take this down to, let's say, 0.75, which is a kind of a pretty basic board from like, you know, I don't like keeping mine on pine or anything like that. I do like the birch plywood just because it's kind of a clear, it doesn't show a whole lot of wood grain and you can kind of see. Anyway, so this board is basically like a pretty standard board from like Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. You know, 3/4 inch thick, 9 inches wide, 15 inches, or 15 inches wide, 9 inches tall. Okay. We're just going to make a quick little simple like welcome sign so you can see some of the features within Easel. So, again, typical sign maker stuff. You're going to go to text. You're going to pick out a random font, which is going to jump in here and it's going to say text, and we're going to delete that. We want it to say welcome to our home or something cheesy, whatever you want it to say. Alright, so now that we have that, I clicked on something, I don't know what I clicked on. Outside here, there we go, okay. So, we've got welcome to our home. Now, if I want this right in the center of my material, it's going to be kind of hard because when I click on it, a bunch of stuff comes up, and as you can see, this is kind of in the way. This is our shape and cut toolbar. we're going to go ahead and move this off to the side. I don't know why my computer keeps trying to open the dictionary. That's kind of driving me nuts. If you click and hold this guy here, you can move it around, kind of move it out of the way. So that's out of the way. As you can see, our width of our text is 9.611. I want to change that to, let's make it, since our board is 15 inches, let's make it 14 inches wide. Oh, now I gotta really move stuff around again, and there's a simple way to do things. If you come up here to your edit, earlier we didn't have all this stuff in the edit, but now we do. So now what we can do is we can take this and just scroll down here to center the material, and it's going to click it straight to the center of your material. Very simple. Let's go ahead and change the height of it too. Let's go ahead and make it 5 inches. Well, wait a second. Now it's not right in the center. So, simple thing to do is, again, center the material. Now, one way to change that, if you click on this button here that's in the center, then when you change stuff, it's going to keep it right in the center. And change it. And change it. And it keeps it right in the center. Whereas in your different positions, it's going to change it. So it's at the top position is where the home is. Now it's changing it down. So, again, centered in material. There's little things that once you find them in the edit, centered in material. We're going to leave it right there. Actually, that's a little too big. Let's make it a little smaller. Let's make it, I'm going to put my position back and forth. Click. Alright, I like that a little bit better. So let's go over to our Pro Design. And let's go to Symbol. That's not what I'm looking for. Pattern. There we go. Let's see. You know, we're gonna take this guy here. So when we click on this, we're gonna fill it, and as you can see, it's really small, but that's okay. Because what we're gonna do is, whoa, it's jumping all over the place. And of course I grabbed that. That's okay. So we'll go ahead and, oh, for crying out loud. Okay. I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna move it up here, and we're gonna change the height to 2 inches. I'm gonna change the width to, what did we say it was? Let's do 14 inches. Alright. I'm gonna highlight everything. And to do that, I'm gonna click down here and scroll over both things. That brings up a new little toolbar here. I want everything centered to each other. Now that it's centered to each other, I can go back to edit, and of course it's off my screen now. Alright. Sorry about the dead air here. We're gonna move this down some. Alright. Edit. Oh, gotta highlight it all first. Of course I grabbed it. Alright. Center to itself. That's not working. Here we go. Alright. We're just gonna kind of drag it semi in place. Highlight everything. Center it to itself. Edit. Center to material, and it's back where we want it. Now, I want this. Let's drag that down some. Alright, right there. I want a second one. We're going to cut. Whoops, not cut. Oh no, what did I do? Go ahead and do undo remove. Okay. We are going to copy. We are going to paste. And now we've got a second one here that we're going to move down below. But I also want to flip vertical. That's going to flip it on a vertical axis. Move some stuff up. We're going to align everything to itself. And we're going to go back to center to material. Now, simple, very easy to do, real basic sign work, stuff like that. We've kind of learned a little bit about some stuff, but let's go ahead and check out a detailed view. And it's going to generate the detailed preview on our 3D material. But hey, there's nothing there. There's a simple explanation for this. And usually it's going to be because of your bit size. So let's go ahead and change our bit to a 1/8 inch bit. And it's going to go ahead and generate a preview again real fast. Detailed view. Well, that doesn't look very good either. So again, because it's the bit, so what's going on is these lines are smaller than 1/8 of an inch. So one of the things you can do is go to a smaller bit, come out again, check it again, or the most simple thing to do, especially with a sign just like this, is use a V-bit. Using a V-bit it doesn't matter how thin it is because that little V is just going to go in right at where it needs to be. So we can use V-bit, generate the detail view, and voila, we've got a detailed view. And you can see exactly where your bit is going to carve. Now, so some of you might say, well, hey, how are you zooming in on that? Let's go ahead and move this over. I'm just using pinch to zoom on my trackpad. So I'm using a laptop. Your zoom wheel or your mouse wheel will also work. If you left click, it rotates it by the Z. If you right click, double click, it moves it around. Zooms. All right, so that's quick, kind of basic things there. Now, earlier I was saying this stuff over here. Let's go ahead and simulate this, see how long it's going to take, because it says roughing is about an hour. That's not necessarily true, but it could be. So let's go ahead and simulate toolpaths. Let that simulate here. And I can show you a little more in the show and hide. And ta-da! So it says it's going to take about 37 minutes to cut this. So now in here you can see that the toolpaths are turned on. Wasteboard's turned on, which is the grid behind it. Material, obviously, is the material. Product preview. And that's going to give you your product preview. So, like I said, there's a couple little features that are very simple to use, very easy to use. One of the big things is flipping stuff. A lot of people are curious about that. It's going to be all right there. Now the send back, send forward, send to the front. I'll get into that in the next video. Um, Select matching depths. It's going to select everything that's at the same depth. Oh, yeah. Hey, let's go ahead and go in here because we didn't really set up the cut or our depths. So in your shape cut, which is this guy here, if you click over to cut, there's your depth setting of how deep you want it to cut, which if you click on the outside numbers, it will take you to that depth. And then you got your cut pass, which is set most of the time for clear out a pocket. You've got cut on the shape, which, whoa, what just happened? That's crazy. It's cutting on that. The blue line is your path. You've got outside the path, and you've got inside the path. But most of the time, you're always going to be, for the most part, with signs and stuff like that, you're going to be clearing a pocket. But there are different things to outside the path. So, for instance, like that, you can change it, make it look a little different. Let's go ahead and grab this one, and we'll do the same thing. We're going to change it to outside the path. We're going to come over here, let my computer catch up for a second. But it just changes, where on the toolpath that it's cutting, whether it be on the blue line, outside the blue line, inside the blue line, or clearing out that whole everything within the blue line. All right, so that's quick, basic overview. Before we close out our design, we're going to go ahead and save it. So we're going to come up here to project properties where it says untitled. We're going to click that. We're going to name this welcome sign. And hit close. We can see that that changes to welcome because we just changed it to welcome. This little check mark means that everything has been saved. And from there, we can go ahead and close that window, or we can go into our project and start a whole new project. It's pretty simple. There's, like I said, there's always going to be hints down at the bottom saying what stuff is. Hopefully this helps you guys with a little bit of where stuff is, what stuff is, and how to change a few things. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment below. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time in the next video where we will dive a little more into guitar building. If you have a specific guitar and easel related question, again, leave me a comment below. I'm going to do my best to tackle all those questions and all those curiosities on what you can do with easel and guitar building in this following videos in this series. So I appreciate you guys hanging out for this long, and I will see you guys next time. Keep building, keep having fun. See you guys.